Check, baby, check, baby, check. 1, 2. Be with you in just a moment. All right, everyone, let's get this show going. Why isn't my video looping? The animated thumbnail, ladies and gentlemen. That's all you get for it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is in the world you're coming to us from. Welcome to DYOR Live here on the DYOR Media Network. My name is Tom, otherwise known as Striking, here in the digital media world. So glad to be hosting another episode of this great show called DYOR Live. Let me turn this music down a little bit. Anyway, November 12th, 2025, the man in the box, Mr. Pedro Garcia, is not with us again today. And my desk crypto swamp creature, Chris, is also busy. So just you and me, little short show for us today. Just get through the basics, what I talked about last night on the Space Lounge Rumble Premium. And I will got that information out last night in Premium. Today we'll talk about it to the general public here, as they say. Welcome to everyone on the show. Let's get the comment machine going here and talking about who is up here. It looks like I am the first commenter. First on YouTube. Connect Me Once says, Miss Pedro. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Crypto Unicorn says first. That's right, you were first, but I did not play you first. Anyway, let's get the yeah music going here, and talk about what's going on with the market today. Right at the key moment, they always play a commercial. Yes, have the AI DJ girl over here for no other reason than I usually have Bloomberg or Sam Price, but today AI. The only reason was because I was using it on the Space Lounge last night, and I didn't reset it for today. So that's good. Anyway, we already got 11 of you watching out there. Thanks a lot. Couple on YouTube. Really appreciate that. Facebook and X still have some people going there. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. People still watch on Facebook. Facebook is one of those weird... I still have my banner up here. Facebook's one of those weird platforms that sometimes, most of the time, you get nobody. And sometimes you get a lot of people. Sometimes. But anyway, we'd like you all the same, you Facebookers. Let's see if we can get the word out there on the Facebook. 'Tis strange. The strange Facebook. Anyway, thanks to everybody that's already tuned in here. We're going to go ahead and get it right off our chest right away. Talking about, have you not got your coffee in yet? I like this. As you know, everyone like to start out the show with a little coffee here. That's right. Have you still not tried 1775 coffee? Now's your shot. The 1775 starter kit just dropped. Only 1,000 units been made, and they're selling them pretty quickly. You're going to get 3 types of coffee when you order this package from 1775. You're getting the bold dark roast. That hits hard. You're getting the smooth medium roast. And you're getting the Vitality mushroom coffee for that clean energy and laser focus. No crash. All single origin, small batch, toxin free and mold free. Plus, you're also getting a gold spoon clip. Why? Because you know what I like to say. Freedom isn't scooped with plastic. You're also getting a frother strong enough to stir up your coffee and your mother-in-law's political opinions. You're getting a black 1775 tumbler, $170 worth of coffee and gear, yours for $99. This is for the ones who've been watching 1775 blow up right here on DYOR Live. That's right. Wondering if it's actually worth it. Spoiler, it is. Go to 1775coffee.com/studio. Grab your starter kit before they're gone. Bold beans, clean fuel, and a morning routine that stands for something, just like Rumble does, just like Pedro does, and just like Striking does here. Anyway, and I might add, it's Christmas season. You want something good? Say, hey, I watched these guys on the air. They push this coffee for this Rumble channel. And one of our viewers, Tagban, who's listed here, actually ordered it and gave it to his dad for Christmas or for an event. And they said he loved it. Loved the coffee. He's going to reorder it. So we have viewers here telling us that it does well. Thanks to 1775coffee.com for sponsoring this segment of DYOR Live. That's the first time in a while I got the ad out of the way at the beginning. Thank you very much to all you viewers out there. Anyway, let's get right into it today. Let's not mess around with the funny business today. Over here on the TradeWave app, you'll see Bitcoin is down under 100,000. Let's re-rack those pricings here. I have not updated them in a bit. I hit the wrong re-rack button. There we go. Bitcoin trading at 101,716, up a little bit from its lows earlier today. Ethereum 344, XRP down to 235. Solana at 153. Tron, this time going with the market. The past couple days it's been going against the market when the market's been tanking. Tron's been going up, but not today. Tron down at 29 cents. Doge 16.9 cents. Cardano 55 cents. You know what? I missed BNB, didn't I? BNB 953. We're still long at BNB. We got long at 950. So we're probably going to sit underwater for a little bit here. Last night I talked about this trade and where it's going after looking at the chart, and the chart was not pretty. Anyway, but I know you don't want to hear about that. You want to hear about Bitcoin. Let's go in and talk about the Bitcoin today. As the graphic says here today, red candles BTC. I hope you enjoyed my little video I put together of that. I mean, that would have taken a creative marketing agency in past years, months to make. Took me 5 minutes on, not even 5 minutes, 2 minutes on Grok. Anyway, let's get into the heart of Bitcoin, viewers. And if you're there, as always, before we do that, let's put out the call to action. Welcome, everybody. Please comment, like, subscribe, follow, repost. Just do it. All right, watching on Rumble today, YouTube, Twitch. I don't know where the Twitch, pop that chat out there. All right, everybody on Twitch. Yes, I did pop it out. Let's do this one for Twitch. Welcome, Twitch viewers. Now X. Welcome, X viewers. Sorry, everybody. Usually, Pedro's going over Bitcoin when I do these housekeeping things, getting the streams running and So we'll just put that up there. Welcome, ex-viewers. All right, now let's get to Bitcoin. Last night, if you didn't watch the Space Lounge, we talked about Bitcoin coming down. We talked about BNB coming down. We talked about a number of things, most of which we talked about Bitcoin for the strategy for November. And what we're talking about, what's happening today is actually going against the whole strategy we talked about. The expectation was that Washington was going to come back today and end the government shutdown and allow this week. Now, there's 2 more days in this week. Allow this week to finish, as you can see on my chart here. Green. This is the first week of November here, down. As you can see, down. Found support at the end of the week. And then this week we saw the beginnings of an up pattern. So we called it up, then down, then up for the last week. I'll go into more detail about this in a minute, but we're talking about today. And today, the market just went down. God, I look like Grandpa Munster here. I got to get my hair cut. The market went down here today, a pretty significant amount. We're talking about the market coming back down this 3rd week in November. Obviously, the market was down lower last week. It went back down briefly below $100,000, and it came back up. And this is just 2 candles down. This can easily turn around, go back up. But we're kind of waiting for the news out of Washington D.C. to see what it's going to do before this. We want to see. We still think, Pedro and I still think that Bitcoin is coming down to the 95, 97, 96, 95. If you look at Bookmap and other liquidity, heat map things, whatever, shows a lot of liquidity there. If you just look at the chart, as Pedro does, if you just look at the chart here and go out and look at the past timelines, you'll see the same story. The liquidity is right in that $95,000, $96,000, $97,000 area. And the next level down below that, $85,000. So very interesting from the liquidity levels on what Bitcoin is doing. DeFi dude in the house, thanks for joining us. Really appreciate it, coming all the way from Spain. Was out with Mrs. Striking yesterday afternoon, and in a place where she meets a bunch of her friends. One of her friends was gone for a while and just came back, and they're like, hey, where were you? She said, I was in Spain. In Spain for a few weeks. Crypto unicorns, let's go. Crypto Mike in the house. Oh, you know what, Crypto Mike? Crypto Mike. I'm not sure that worked. Let's try that again. Oh, I thought I had the voice system up. Wah, wah, wah. Oh, it was sleeping. Let's try again. No. Nothing. Let's try again. Oh, cannot pass. There we go. Crypto Mike, hope you had a great Veterans Day, or Remembrance Day. Here in Canada, called Remembrance Day. Anyway, to finish up, not to finish up, but to talk about what Bitcoin is doing, going against the trend of what we thought today. So today's Wednesday, in the middle of the week. We're looking for an uptrend for this week. Not much, just not a dump. The dump is coming next week, we believe, before we can finish it with an up month. This up week can really, like I said before, can be consolidation. It doesn't need to go up. It just needs, before we see a sharp increase, and this is kind of a bet, ladies, and this is kind of like DraftKings right here. Because it went down pretty strongly at the beginning of the month, we're looking for an equal or better move up at the end of the month. And before that, we need to take the liquidity out before it can go up. These are really high-tech terms here, technical analysis. Up, down, all around. And so we think this is a likely scenario with this green arrow here, maybe just consolidating, not just a big dump. But there is a lot of support down here. Look at all these demand wicks. And so if Bitcoin is going to drop further today, I would say not a huge drop unless there's some news out of the government that drives the news and tanks everything. But let's look at what we woke up to here this morning. Well, let's go back essentially with the Asia session. Last night, Asia opened and didn't really do anything, just continued the consolidation. And then once London opened, London said, "Okay, we're gonna take the." They also waffled a little bit, and then they said, "All right, we're gonna take the market up." Market makers moved the market up just a little bit in the overnight session, and then on the open this morning, you can see right here on the open, 9:30 open here in the New York session, it's just been one big roller coaster, stick figure, and arms up, waving. It looks just like a roller coaster, doesn't it? Right down at the bottom, another little hill. I hope you all are entertained this morning. But the drop has stopped. The volume has come. God dang it. The volume has come down. Pedro's been beating into my head to always make sure that I check the volume. And for those of you that are new viewers out there, just remember Pedro is our technical analysis. I'm the student, so I'm operating when he's out on student knowledge. Admittingly, I've been a student for a long time, but a lot of it just kind of gelled with me as I started getting back into trading. I've got a lot of other stuff going on in the real life, so I can't dedicate the time I'd like to do this, but that'll probably change in the new year. Anyway, but we've got a good floor here, right? We've got a good floor here. You know what I do want to remember, on the Space Lounge last night, one of the things that we did talk about was the moving averages. And last night on the show, I talked about this area right here, where the moving averages were they're all just kind of coming down and going, zoop. And it's very similar to a descending triangle or a triangle in which the pricing's doing this. Eventually, it gets to a point where it has to break out. Just can't keep doing to it, infinity zero. And same with moving averages. They can't just stay together all the time. Eventually, something's got to break and move. Which direction depends on a lot of factors, of which I couldn't tell you at the time. But this one did follow a typical pattern. Broke out to the upside. Everything was great. But then the market says, all right, that short-term move up really is being drawn like the gravity of the sun back down this way. Your little planets or asteroids can go do other things, but ultimately the big pile of liquidity down below 100,000 is calling home. So that's what it did. If we go back to this chart here, we can see the price action is right where my X is here. Still a long way to go before it breaks down under. It has to go down to like 98 before it clears out the trading range to reach its lows of the past week. So we're still sitting in a good spot for it to do a little bit of the even make those sounds. Yes, I know, that's hilarious, isn't it? Oh, I cracked myself up. Anyway, so let's get back to the smaller time frame chart. So as you know, one of the things that I look forward to is getting in on a trade that meets one of my trade setups. And it's one of those trade setups that happens every day in multiple markets, but we'll stick to Bitcoin. And Bitcoin's, and this trade failed me yesterday. This was the 200 period moving average. Let me zoom in on that, and I'll show you how it failed me. Right there. So you hear me talk about this a This red line is a 200 period moving average. The purple line here, 8 period, orange line, 20 period or 21, whichever one it's set for. I don't remember. And what I like to see is price action come back up through the 200 period moving average after not been through it in a while. No, it's been a while, more than the length of the moving average periods, more than 200 periods. And when both of those, the 8 period and the 21 period, come up and hit price action, that's generally the point where I would buy and watch it just moon up, because the price action came up and its moving averages came up, likely to keep following the moving averages. It's a good indicator. Shortly thereafter, that it went up a little bit. Oh, this would be good. Note, I was not in this trade. I was just talking about it on the Space Lounge. That's where I would have gotten in. And I would have come down here, and my order was a 1-for-2 order. And this is where I would have placed. Actually, it was 102,600. I think I moved it a little bit. But anyway, I did move it just a little bit because I was just outside of those stop ranges there, or those wicks. And so my strategy didn't work. It came right back down after being in it, and then went right back up and started all over again. So I was like, all right, give it another chance. Comes right back down again. This is when you know this is tough. It's not following the plan. Likely a good point to reduce the risk and get out of the trade. Not really any time that you can take decent profits from it. But as you can see here, if I had stayed in the trade and said, okay, I'm just going to stay in the trade and let time work its magic and see if the big crossover here above the 200 period moving average will hold. Well, it did if you look at the chart in the long term, but if you look at the chart in the 1 minute time frame, they dropped it down well below my stop. And that was almost a prediction that they were going to do this, because they know that I'm not just the only one doing this. There's a million people doing this. And they cleared us all out, stopped us out, then took the market right up. And let's see how close it would have got to winning that trade. Yeah, look at that. If it hadn't stopped me out right there on that big wick down, I would have made my take profit right here. Or here, actually, right there. At about 9 o'clock last night, after getting into the trade at almost 6 o'clock. It would have been a 3-hour trade. Would have doubled my money. The trade would have been $1,000 margin. Would have made $1,000. Actually, would have made $2,000. It was a two for oneer. So that's how that goes. But anyway, so that normally that trade works out. But what happened was, which makes me skittish, is it goes back and forth across the 200 period too many times. When it does that, there's just going to be a good chance for a big wick. So as soon as it failed the first time, missed my stop, and then the second time it gets closer, it's like, should have reduced. Had I been in the trade and lost the trade, I would be sitting here going, I should have reduced my risk and preserved my capital. This trading setup happens every day. So it's not like you can't say, oh, I'm missing a golden opportunity. You just wait till the next day. Sure enough, today, the market it played out exactly according to the model. The problem is that I wouldn't have taken this trade. Here you can see the price action come up through the 200 period moving average, and the 8 period does, 21 period does, 50 period does too. Everything comes up, but I wouldn't have taken this trade because it was too close to coming back down underneath it. And over the past many hours, it just went back and forth over the 200 period moving average, and nothing I could see was giving me an indication it was going to do anything else. Nothing happened with the Asia markets. London opened and didn't really do much. And then when London officially opened, it went down a little, and you're like, okay, whatever. And it just led to a big rise. I wouldn't have taken that trade. I would have missed out on it. But like I said, okay, that's fine. But now where do we reset to? So today the market has come down again. So almost the same pattern. Almost the same pattern as the other day. Market came down. Price action was below the 200 period moving average for a long time. So it's been since a long time, 9:30 this morning, since the open. Market opens down. No good news this morning to report on the government shutdown, so it opens down. Let's see, the NASDAQ is unchanged. Dow Jones is up 400. So not much going on in those markets either. And so now we're consolidating. So what we're looking for now for my trade to set up is it to do this for a little bit. Kind of make some kind of flag here that doesn't indicate more bear market, but has some support. Maybe trade a little bit, make a inverted head and shoulders. Show a little support and volume coming up too. And then have a little, I should say, maybe do a little consolidation in here. And then on the good news of the late afternoon before close, I guess I drew that out too far. We'd want to see the price action come back up through this 200 period moving average. This 200 period moving average is going to do something, like that. And so we'd want to see this price action come up like that. And when it does, when it crosses out about, I'm going to guess around 5:30, we'll look for another trade. See if we can make out and catch it on the rebound here. But like I said, there's a lot of things that go into that, especially what the larger time frames are telling us, which I'm just not taking the time to go over today. Not the purpose of the show here, but anyway, let's take a few minutes to look at social media, see what people are talking about. Not much. You guys are quiet. You guys are quiet. Let's hear it, boys. That means drop a comment or two. I don't understand why this wants to debug so many times. Okay, where is the X? All right. The call to action, if you guys didn't notice, was to drop some chats. Keep that chat rate up. Crypto Unicorn says, okay, we hear you. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. All right, let's see if it's got the ability to run any ads here now. Nope, not yet. Not yet. All right, let's go back to the... So like I said, I went over this in more detail last night in the Space Lounge. But what we're looking for here is this week to finish on an up note, really. We'd like either the balance of today, if I do. Thank you very much, Dara. Really appreciate you acquiescing to my begging and groveling here. But what we're looking for is we're looking for this week to consolidate, or to finish on the uptrend, or at least show some consolidation since the end of last week. So the market may tank next week. in tank down below 100K. Yes, I know there's a lot of people out there saying it's not going to hit below 100K. It can't. It's impossible. Michael Saylor's going to buy. Oprah Winfrey's going to jump around. All this type of stuff. Tom Cruise is going to run naked. Whatever. But the pricing goes where the liquidity is. And right now, the liquidity is showing as being sub 100,000. But that's good. That's good. If we know this, and we trade this, we can make some money. And so having this go down here, wasn't sure I was pointing at the right thing. This go down in violently, with some violence, and take a bunch of stops out, liquidate a whole bunch of longs. That sets the tone for next week, or for the last week in November, to go up dramatically. Now, let's remember that the last week in November, liquidity is lighter. Why? Because the U.S. Is off, because everyone wants to go stuff their stomachs full of turkey and tryptophan, get fat, gain a lot of weight right before the Christmas holiday season starts, right? We want to get fat so we can prep ourselves for getting even fatter. And so this depends on when in the week, because Thursday and Friday of next week, everyone takes off. Everyone just F's off. The market will be open, liquidity will be lighter. After the London close on Friday, there's not going to be anything going on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. So we got to remember that's going on. However, remember, that means smaller market makers can run the market. That's right. Some sats for your Christmas stocking. All right, I do have a little side question for you, people that are viewing. I uploaded a custom emoji, or emote, they call it, here on the Rumble platform. For some reason, I never noticed that in my studio setup. I was like, ooh, custom emotes or emojis. There's one there somewhere that you users should be able to use of me pointing. And does anyone see it? I guess I could look too over here. Those ones on the bottom next to the send button, the Bitcoin, that one, and then the Rumble ones, I have no idea. Those come and go for some reason, and I don't have any idea why. Ah, there I am. Where'd you find it? Oh, in the emoji button. I see it. I see it. Okay. Look, see? Now we can now we can be properly entertained. Now we've learned something new today. Now I can put my picture of me pointing up on the screen here. How do you do it multiple times? If I hit it once, it sends it. Oh, nope. That's sorry, I take that back. It works. See, Dara, it's Wednesday evening over there at the Dara household, and this is what you're doing. All the shows on Netflix, on Apple TV, all the good new good ones. This is what you're stuck with. There's a new one on Apple TV called Pluribus that the Mrs. Striking and I are starting to watch. Whew. Real good, as they say. Real nice. It's one of the ones they don't just drop the whole thing at once. They put one episode out a week, and we've watched the first two already. I won't tell you anything it's about. But Pluribus. All right, let's look at our BNB trade here. I don't have a lot of time left in the show here. Actually, frankly, I could go all day, but it wears everybody else out. including the misses. All right, let's go call BNB. No, I'm using the TradeWave app over here. Like I say, the TradeWave app is coming soon to a theater near you. Oh, BNB coming down. We're about to go underwater in our trade. We got long on at 950 from a call I guess 2 weeks ago by me saying we're going to catch it as it plummets down and then sell it on the rebound. And we almost got close. We caught it on the way down, but it didn't rebound up high enough. It was supposed to rebound up to more than 1025. Our sell orders at 1025. And so the rebound didn't work. The anticipation of it coming down to 950 worked. So I'll give myself a little tap on the back for that. But now I'm stuck in the trade that's likely going to go down, lose money. So let's bring up a chart for BNB. As always, I'm bringing up the futures contract here. Look, the 1 minute chart is almost doing the exact same as Bitcoin, but what made me fuss a little bit was the 4 hour chart here. 4 hour chart did not look like anything that I wanted to be part of. Let's do the old inverse here. The inverse here gives you an idea of what it's going to do if you're biased towards an uptrend, biased towards a bull market. You would look at this and say, oh, this is going up, but that's actually a chart that's upside down. So you'd look at it and say, that market's going down. This is the 4 hour chart for BNB. The daily chart isn't a lot different. The good news on the daily chart, though, we are above, I forget what moving average that is. That's 100. This period's a 100 period moving average. We're between the 100 and 200 period. Would like to see it stay above the 200 period moving average. But this was another 1-for-1 trade. Let's go back to the 1 hour chart here. 1 hour chart and not looking great. Here's the trade as it was executed. Came in at 950. Stop order would be a little bit below its lowest liquidity line here. It's 1-for-1. Not a big thing. Just trying to double my money. Would have risked $1,000 and would have gained $1,000 if it were to reach 125,000. All possible if the week turns out for Bitcoin like we think it's going to. It likely will drag BNB up with it. How much, I don't know. But if these conditions continue doing what they're doing here, I don't think I'm going to stay in the trade. I would get out of it. If it starts coming down here and all the moving averages are down, I'm not going to waste my margin. I'm going to preserve my capital, get out of the trade, or at least reduce my risk a lot. So that's our BNB trade. Like I said, we got into it here when BNB raced down during that big market drop. We anticipated the market correction, the big V market correction up, as it does many times. Like that, and then it would have broken through. Our sell line would have been right there, no problem. I didn't do that. Of course, like I said last night also, we could be doing a 786 Fibonacci retracement. Let me move this back here. Actually, let me just delete that. The Fibonacci from wick or from candle to that here, or like that. Well, look, it's right at the Fibonacci. This is interesting. So the product came right down here to, I guess that would be a good wick body. It makes sense to draw it down to here. Can't really tell. Just We'll split the difference. Anyway, the price action has gone up and then come back down into essentially the golden pocket between 0.6 and 0.618. Either there or this 786 number here is generally a good spot for a retracement. Here on this side of me are the numbers all the way on the right side. This blue line here is the 786 Fibonacci. This here, I don't have the golden pocket zone in. Sam Price taught me to draw in, make them in white so you can see it. This Trading View cannot remember my preferences for any reason. I don't know why. And so it doesn't keep redrawing the golden pocket. So it's come down and hit those. And so now if this is a classic retracement, it'll either start the move back up here or wait till it hits this line, the 786 line, and then start heading back up. And so I'll stay in this trade until the 786, and below that, if it starts going below it, I'll dump it, or at least reduce my risk a lot. DeFi dude, I can't. I'm gonna come up with a whole bunch of new emotes now. We'll see what old Tommy Boy can come up with. Obviously, there needs to be one of Pedro. Got to have a whole bunch of other ones too. You know what? You know what I need. This is what I need to do. The Bitcoin girls, as I have them down here, need to make them into emotes. You know, I try to run the professional show, and I get Pedro out of the hangout with us kind of degen show mode. And we have good conversations, we have good political discussions, it doesn't work that well with viewers. You know, I'm trying to get the attention of the larger networks to say, hey, we should feature these guys on our real shows. It doesn't work. And so in order to keep the majority, 99% of our viewers happy, except for Shireen Spurus, I think our only regular female viewer, we'll just put the Bitcoin women now into those emotes. Yes, how I'm thinking. Exactly. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Why don't we just burn a little time here? Open the old Photoshop. See if we can do that. Oh, let's look for I guess they would be in the regular thumbnail template here. I don't know how many of you noticed the video I made. Spent way too much time doing it. Red candle BTC. And the lady in red running away from the candles falling out. It's just amazing what AI can do. It really is. It really is. All right, let's see. Name. Hold on. Actually, before I do that, let's do this. Control C. I know this is what all of you are just waiting for. I gotta crop this. Deselect, select subject. Inverse. Delete that background. Oh, this is going to be a good one. A lesson in making emojis one day. Image resize. 512. Export PNG. I know all of you are waiting by your computers now anxiously. All 9 of you watching. Let's see. I hate it when it gets out of order. Shows. Common elements. Graphics. Rumble. Oh, I didn't realize I put this folder this far down. All right, now let's go. Now I have to find where I put those in. Let's see, chat settings. Nope. Channels, connector. I think that would be a good spot, would be chat settings. Live streaming API, nope. All right, I'm gonna give this another 3 seconds here before I bail, before I lose everybody on here. All right, I'm not gonna find it here. That's a shame, ladies and gentlemen. I had made this new one. Oh, found it. Found it. Yeah, I think it. I know this is definitely going to affect the price of Bitcoin in our favor, or our BNB trade, right? Absolutely. Rumble Media, emotes. All right, let's see if we've got another one there. Might have to refresh your page. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna refresh my page. Not your page, but your chat. Oh, there I am. Look at that. That's the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin price is crashing emoji. Let's put that up on the screen. Even with a little glow, DeFi dude gives the old American flag, Trump, Canadian flag. Love it. Crypto Mike says, Tommy boy, welcome to the show. Glad you're staying with the show, Mike. Only got a few minutes left in the show here. Was just having some fun here, watching the, seeing where the market's going to do, seeing if BNB here is going to recover and come through for our trade, or if it's going to tank and take us out. Take us out. Let's reload the price of BNB. Oh, and it has dropped. It has dropped. We're now underwater in that trade. We'll be watching that to see if we need to get out of that, if it's going to keep on its way down or not. Anyway, let's go back and review Bitcoin before I head out for the day. Bitcoin traded at 1013. This is the Binance spot chart. It has my little squiggly lines on it. Let's go back to those squiggly lines. We were talking about the 1 minute chart earlier. I know I don't like, I'm trying to teach myself the longer time. Uh-oh. You know what that is? That's Fiat Leak telling us that Bitcoin is dumping. And it did since we last spoke here. I was telling you what I wanted to see out of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin said, sorry, Tommy boy, we're not doing that. We are not doing that. What I was saying is I would have liked to have seen Bitcoin consolidate a little bit more here, have the 200 period moving average, this red line here, come back and start leveling off, and then price action come back up through this. And give us time to do the 200 period, the sand price special as I call it, 200 period moving average trade that I talk about all the time. And instead, Bitcoin right here said, nope, no, not gonna do that. All right, so we're gonna stop looking for that now. We're gonna see if Bitcoin. If the volume comes back, if we got to watch this volume here on Bitcoin, if it stays up like this and the price stays going down, it's going to be a brutal afternoon, which is fine. We're looking for an end of the week turnaround. We're looking for, like I said, we want this to start out. I should say finish this week on a little bit of an uptrend. We're still trading below this blue line here. Is the weekly open at 104. The monthly opens at 109. We're still trading well below that. We've got to come up at some point or another. 1 second. Sorry, dog needed to be put out here. Yes, the global headquarters of DYOR. We're such a progressive office. We allow people to bring their dogs to work. In other words, the dog goes from the bedroom over there and stands over here in the den where I am. Anyway, like I keep saying over and over again, in order for it to finish strong at the end of the month, it needs to have a liquidity sweep before that. Doesn't need to, but these are the general rules. And even with the price coming down pretty hard now, there's still 2 more days left in the week, and especially with people starting the month. You know, I guess I haven't talked this out much. You thought you were going to get rid of me here. Since the week started down, a lot of people are going to take the entire week off next week. And so a lot of people were short. They're riding these shorts out all week. They're going to close them out tomorrow and Thursday. I'm sorry, Thursday and Friday. So that may help, as long as there's some good news about the government shutdown, may help with the situation in Washington, D.C., which may help the markets, all that kind of stuff. Bitcoin go boom. And then once again, next week, start the downward trend to go find that liquidity that's hanging out down there. We've seen record outflows from the ETFs. Their trading volume is up over, it's close to $2 trillion. $2 trillion in trading volume, not in market cap or amount of Bitcoin stuffed in there. And I shouldn't say Bitcoin, I should say all of them, Ethereum, the Solana ETF now. Interestingly enough, the Bitcoin and Ethereum ETF worlds have seen a lot of money come out of it recently, and money go into Solana. Very interesting, very interesting. Doesn't say that the money went from one to the other, just said outflows in one, inflows in another. Don't know that, but I'm going to mark down to keep our eye on Solana, see if that was a harbinger of things to come. But you know what else is a harbinger of things to come? This song. My hair is just terrible today. My green screen sucks. My hair is terrible. Go back to the days before high definition. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Missed my good friend, Mr. Pedro Garcia today. He missed a big, important step broadcasting here this week. We got the emojis in. The emotes. The emotes. Here's the girl. The doom girl saying Bitcoin's crashing and falling on my head. Good addition to the whole bunch. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got for you today. Really appreciated everyone that came out. We will see you tomorrow. Don't know why that doesn't go bong anymore.